Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the DTM Trophy. Race 1 here at Zolder. It is indeed round number 9. And well, we have got a very, very different grid to what we've been expecting over the last couple of months. And well, I am all for it. Lucas Mauron will start on pole position today. Again, a driver who has been improving over the second half of the season, has shown some serious raw pace. And well, now he has indeed got himself that pole position. He will start at the front. But not only that, we've got surprises all around the front. I would say 6. Tim Heinemann, of course, P2. Not much of a surprise, but Fulgencio is in P3. Nico Verdonk, the first of the Toyota Supras, will start on the second row of the grid in 4th position. Then we've got Jan Kissel, who we expect to be near the front end of the grid. And then we've got Bastien Boos. So Bastien Boos' first ever appearance in the DTM Trophy. He's a guest driver this week for the Porsche Cayman team. So yeah, very, very interesting to see. 15 drivers are on the grid, and actually it was the closest qualifying we have had thus far. Considering the top 14 was 1.8 seconds separating them all. Normally it's around about 3 seconds, but it really has closed up. Michael Tischner, though, is about 2.6 seconds off the pace. Lucas Mauron, then, his first ever pole position. Looking not as relaxed as normal, maybe a little bit more nervous, and he's got every right to be. We've got Tim Heinemann, who will be starting on the outside line for turn number 1. And actually, it's been quite a profitable line for drivers this weekend. So expecting to see that maybe the same here. And you can see he's a little bit more nervous here, used to being right at the front. Tim Heinemann will start in 2nd position. Next up, then, it is Fulgencio. Was pole position for quite a big chunk of qualifying, but found himself in P3. Actually had a lap time taken away from him as well, but could have potentially put him up in on the front row of the grid. But he's starting P3. He'll be very happy with that. Best qualifying performance of the season from him. Then the first of our Toyota Supras, Ring Racing, Nico Verdonk. Up on the second row of the grid. Great to see that purple mobile up the top end. And again, it's only 3/10 separating the front 4. So a lot of anticipation here. A lot of different drivers at the front. It just goes to show the balance of performance within this championship is working. I think the only car that would really be opposed to that would be BMW, because BMW have struggled here today. But they since Spa have been more of a straight line speed car, and Zolder just doesn't really have that to offer. Jan Kissel then will start in P5. Could this be the weekend he gets his first victory? Currently 2nd in the championship, yet to get better than 3rd this season, just been super consistent. And then in P6, new driver, the Dane, 17 years old, Bastien Boos for Allied Racing. 0.4 of a second off the pace in 6th position. All to be 17 again. He's excited. He's looking forward to this. Should be a really, really good race. First of our BMWs then, and it is Ben Tuck, the first ever winner in the DTM Trophy Championship in Spa, which feels like years ago now. It was only a couple of months ago. He will start in P7. What can he do from P7 though? Will be all about the start for him for sure. P8 then, it is the number 35. Max Kubolt for Vulcan Horse Motorsport as well. 7.5 of a second off the pace then. 136.768. Ben Green is the next driver up then. He is in for FK Performance Motorsport. He starts P9. He was the 2nd ever winner in the DTM Trophy, the inaugural season at Spa. Next up then is Peter Turting. He is in P10, starting on the outside line as well. Had a topsy-turvy season this season. Showed some serious pace in free practice 1, but unfortunately hasn't really transferred that towards qualifying. One of the last drivers to get into the car as well. Very relaxed, cool customer, that's for sure. Always has been. From the start, always smiling, always enjoying his racing, which is great to see. Next up then, another Porsche. It is Rudolph Rin for Phoenix Racing in that all-green car. 1.1 second off the pace. Feel there was more in the car for him for sure. Just wasn't able to get that lap time down. Luke Vankmuller then for FK Performance Motorsport. He will start in P12. Looking very focused today for sure. Dominique Shack for Hella Pagid Racing 1 in P13. He definitely will feel there's more in the car, considering the car that is on pole position is the same car as he's using. But can he indeed gain some of that performance in the race? The AMG for Lippert Motorsport then, of Fidel Lieb. One of our XP drivers. And then Michael Tischner for Ring Racing, the second of our Toyota Supras on the grid. We'll start in P15. If you guys want to get involved in the conversation, hashtag AskLuke at ActRollVision on Twitter or indeed on Instagram. So I'll try and give you guys a shout out. Who are you supporting? Where are you watching from? Who do you think is going to win the race? Those are the three key questions. And well, Lucas Mauron will want to be answering one of those questions by winning this race. Starting on pole position, his first pole position of the season. Again, the last few weeks, Mauron has been showing some serious pace in free practice 1, free practice 2, sometimes in qualifying, but in the races just hasn't really been able to lay the times down. He's been one of the most exciting drivers to watch this season, probably the best overtaker out of everybody. If there's an opportunity, he will indeed seize that opportunity, but he'll be hoping for a Tim Heinemann-esque race, where he just gets out into the front and he's able to drive away. But he's not used to starting near the front, whereas Tim Heinemann, who we're on board with right now, he is very much used to this situation. Being on the front row of the grid, used to getting those reactions towards the green light. So he'll be pretty confident that he can get up into P1 into turn number 1. And again, it's the outside line through turn number 1, but it's quite a wide open entrance and exit, so you can use a lot of curb on the exit, but then you will have the inside line for turn 2. So if you can get a really good line through turn 1, you can indeed very easily take the lead. Mauron will want to try and force the issue here, be ahead, not have to worry about anything from Heinemann. It's going to be a very interesting race. I think we're going to see a little bit of rubbings racing for sure. Heinemann has probably got the most pristine car on the grid because he's not been involved with anybody. He's just been racing out in the front for the most part. So his car is untouched almost. A few other cars there, as we saw from actually Fidel Lieb's, a bit chipped on the front end. So yeah, Heinemann is used to being out in the front, but he's not used to muscling it with anybody. Can Lucas Mauron take Heinemann out of his comfort zone here and force a fantastic, entertaining race? It is round number 9 then. We're about to head for the formation lap. It is 30 minutes plus 1 lap. For the first race of the weekend. So it's just cars and drivers now on the grid. 30 seconds to go. And then we are ready to rock and roll. If Tim Heinemann finishes in second position here, ladies and gentlemen, he will become the champion as well. So don't forget that. Effectively, all he has to do is finish ahead of Jan Casil. He could finish a few positions behind Jan Casil and still win the championship. So, again, Heinemann, is he going to be as aggressive as he has been previously? Doesn't need to be. You can't really take the racing driver out of the racing driver, so I'm sure he'll give it 100% all the same. So a lot on the line here today. Lucas Mauron could become the 4th different winner. Tim Heinemann could become the inaugural champion. Frank Derin is watching. Of course, he wants to see his boy Max Kubolt get into that top 5. Cheers for tuning in, Frank. Hopefully it's a good race for you. Again, get yourselves involved on Twitter and on Instagram at ActRollVision. And I'll try and give you all a shout out. So at ActRollVision, Instagram, Twitter, hashtag AskLuke. So we saw in qualifying it took 3 laps for these drivers to get the temperature into the tyres. It will be a little bit warmer here, of course, now in the early afternoon, or mid-afternoon, I would say. But the first few laps are going to be interesting. A lot of mistakes are going to be made from what we've seen over the last couple of weekends. But here is your starting grid. Maron and Heinemann, row 1. Fulgencio, Verdonk, row 2. Kisil, Boos, Tuck, Kubolt, Green and Terting round out your top 10. And then we've got Rudolph, Rin, Vankmuller, Shack, Lieb and Michael Tischner as your 15 drivers for this weekend. Bastian Boos, P6, first ever weekend here. He's got nothing to lose. He's not fighting for the championship. He won't be here again in Hockenheim either. So, yeah, Bastian Boos, watch out for him. He will really get himself involved here. Very young driver, raw talent, hugely talented, was quickest in free practice too. So really expecting big things here. Through that second chicane then, we head up then to the final sector, and we're about to go green. Who will take the 25 points? Here is the layout then. 4 kilometers of Zolder here in Belgium. And as they line up 2 by 2. Again, Heinemann. Heinemann needs to keep his nose in there on the exit of turn 1. If he can be within half a car length of Lucas Maron towards turn 2, there's every reason to suggest that he could get into the lead of this race. Then he knows what to do there. He's very capable of controlling races. We've seen it the last 6 weeks in a row. As you can see, the track temperature is raised up from qualifying. It was 10 degrees in qualifying. And, well, now it's 18 degrees. But let's not worry about now. It is racing time, ladies and gentlemen. As we come up towards the line, we're waiting for the lights to go green. Lucas Maron in the Audi is on pole position. It is the AMG then, championship leader of Tim Heinemann. There's the 5 red lights, and we are green here, ladies and gentlemen. That's Zolder. And wow, Jan Kisil trying to make a move here on Fulgencio. But look at the Supra. Supra coming around the outside here to potentially take P2. It's 4, it's 5 wide. And look at the Supra from P4, potentially up into P1. This is a great start then. Of a huge start from Verdonk. And the Toyota Supra leads the race. What a start there for the team Toyota Ring Racing. Unbelievable. Both Toyotas are flying through the pack here. Lucas Maron then trying to potentially get a move done here. And while Tim Heinemann, I said he might not fight here today, doesn't need to fight, needs to just stay ahead of the car that's just in behind him. Jan Kisil knows he has to beat him there today to keep the championship, alive. That's for a fact, and Heinemann's going to go in very deep. You can see it's almost 2 wide then through the first of the chicanes. Everyone comes through nicely. Looks like Ben Green may have had a little bit of contact, by the way, earlier on when it was 4 wide in front of him. But Tim Heinemann makes the move ahead of Fulgencio. So now he's got Fulgencio in between him and Jan Kisil. Ben Green trying to make his way forward here as well. He's now the lead BMW. Actually, he's now side by side with Ben Tuck. Ben Tuck then, no love lost between the 2 BMWs as they come through the second chicane. You see Bastian Boos now under pressure from Peter Terting just in behind as well. So Boos has dropped down the order, and what a frantic start this has been. Superb stuff. Lucas Maron then just trying to get into the mirrors of that Toyota Supra. And there's a big mistake there by the Toyota, actually. And Maron, has he got an opportunity down towards the final couple of corners? As you can see, Tim Heinemann is also there, trying to prey, trying to pounce like a panther. Lucas Maron late on the brakes here, around the outside towards the final couple of corners. Through the final chicane they go. Oh, wow, very aggressive, defensive bit of work there. And actually now, you can see that Lucas Maron in that Audi is going to be under all sorts of pressure. Tim Heinemann is now just pulling up alongside him. And no, the Audi's just got that extra bit of poke. Side by side then, between Fulgencio and Jan Kisil. Tim Heinemann with a late lunge up the inside of Lucas Maron, cuts the curb off completely. Jan Kisil around the outside then of Fulgencio. Ben Tuck trying to follow him through. And meanwhile, Nico Verdonk is in the lead now. He's got a nice little advantage, and Lucas Maron from pole position is down to P3. Look at this then, Ben Tuck trying to make a move here on Fulgencio. Ben Green then is also going to try and follow him through. Ben Tuck's got the inside line. Fulgencio is going to be hung out to dry here, surely. It's got to be left the room. He's into the gravel trap here. Is he going to come out? Oh dear, he's hit the braking boards. That is not good there. Yellow flag, and that's going to be across the radiator. That might be a case of, indeed, him having to come to the pits there. He might be given the flag to bring him into the pits there. Green flag, it's all good, but yeah, not good there. So the radiator may indeed cause that car to overheat. So there was no room left there by Verdonk, and that was very aggressive indeed. Tim Heinemann, by the way, has gone down from P2 down to P5, now all the way back to P2. But what a start from Nico Verdonk. Verdonk from P4 on the grid for Toyota's Ring Racing, now into the lead of this race. But here we go. This is the start of lap number 2. Heinemann, late lunge up the inside. Maron makes a mistake, cuts the curb there. Wonder whether that might indeed be looked at. But here's the Verdonk versus Fulgencio. Fulgencio on the outside here. Verdonk does leave the room. Well, I don't know if he leaves the room or not. You can see he goes through. It's not the braking board at all there. It's actually a sponsor board. And that's one way of getting your sponsors on camera. That's for sure. And now, for the entirety of this race, we're going to see half of that board on the front of Fulgencio's car. It's still there. Oh, no, it's come off. There we go. It's only polystyrene, so that'll be off. The wind will blow that away. Lovely old job. No need for safety cars. And wow, look at this. What's going on here? Wow, Lucas Maron is trying to make a move back for P2. I told you he was an aggressive mover. And if he gets an opportunity, he will try and take it. Tim Heinemann, well, I said this car was untouched. It certainly isn't now. There has been some proper kind of touring car action here. And that Audi just seems to have some straight line speed that we've not seen before. And a little bit earlier on the brakes here, trying to get a punchy exit down in towards then that first chicane. Yellow flag here as well. Wondering whether that indeed is it. There must be an incident through turns 1, 2, or 3. Or is the yellow flag there just because of all of that debris on the circuit there? So again, it's only polystyrene, so it won't have too much of an effect. But what a start in this race. 25 minutes, 50 seconds to go. And I need a chance to breathe. But as it stands, well, Lucas Maron has made the move initially, but Tim Heinemann retakes it. This is incredible racing here. It's perfect for Verdonk. This is what he wanted. Get into the lead from P4. Again, whether he had that in his mindset or not, I don't know. It's an absolute flyer of a start. But he's in the lead here. 1.9 seconds clear. He's going to let the AMG and the Audi fight behind him. Just a sensational race so far. Again, no penalties have been issued. No incidents are being looked at as well. So it looks like we are going to be green light racing to the end. No one's going to be having any penalties. But look at this Audi. Look at the straight line speed of this Audi. It's going to have to go round the outside here. How late can you go on the brakes, Lucas? Not late enough. Tim Heinemann holds the fort here. But Tim Heinemann's just taking all sorts of different lines through these corners here. Really is being put under pressure. But look at the exit here. Lucas Maron flashing the lights. He's not going to see those lights, mate. You're too close to him. Down in towards turn number 1. He's going to have to go all the way around the outside. He then cuts the nose off of Tim Heinemann. And that is a perfect block maneuver. Lucas Maron then off to try and chase down our leader, Verdonk. What a start to this race. This is fantastic stuff, and this is what the DTM Trophy is all about. AMG, though, showing its prowess through the corners. So the AMG is just such a good all-rounder. But here's a replay then of Lucas Maron. He's going to be so annoyed with himself that he's not in the lead of this race, considering he started from pole position. But look at that. Tim Heinemann actually does try and make a better entrance through turn number 1. And ultimately, nothing doing there. We've got another yellow flag here as well. Although that's just disappeared very quickly. As quickly as it indeed did appear. And Maron may have just taken liberties with the entrance into that chicane. Verdonk's under investigation then with Fulgencio. Oh, Jan Casil has just given a big old nudge to Verdonk there. And that will probably be investigated as well. Ben Green trying to take full advantage. And Verdonk showing some rallycross prowess there because he did not lose a position after going through the gravel, kept his momentum and made a very quick decision. It was either try and make the corner and go into the gravel sideways or go through it with all 4 wheels facing in the right direction. Actually now gives up the position then, so he's got a lot of rubbish on his tyres for sure. Bastian Boost now trying to come through as well. Peter Turting has just tagged the back there of Verdonk, and you can see that unfortunately that Porsche has got a little bit of damage to the front bumper, and actually I think Verdonk now, yeah, he's into the pits. So he is into the pits here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm wondering whether he might have been given a drive-through penalty, or has he got a puncture of some sort? He comes through the gravel there, jumps through the gravel. Again, it's a really good recovery, but I think there must be some sort of puncture of some sort. Again, the entry being cut completely, and we saw in qualifying so many lap times were being deleted here. So I'm wondering whether there might be some time penalties added. Is there a puncture to the car? So it doesn't look like there's any other kind of damage. Yeah, front right is punctured. And that, unfortunately, will be race over for Verdonk. Again, it's such a short format. Unless there's a safety car, of course. But he's going to have to come in. Lucas Maron, by the way, now 1.4 seconds behind the leader. Another yellow flag then. And I reckon it's just a yellow flag every time they come past that debris there. I'm saying debris like I'm American. I'm not American. It's I just don't know any other way to say it. Debris. There we go. But Verdonk then, again, is probably going to go a lap down here. So even a safety car is not going to save him. But Nico Verdonk while all of the melee's happening in behind him. Oh, we've got an investigation here then between Jan Casil and Ben Tuck. So that's going to be looked at as well. But yeah, all of the melee happening in the background. Oh, there's no further action then between Jan Casil and Ben Tuck. That's been sorted very, very quickly. But here's a look at the start here. And well, it looks like P3, was it Fulgencio, got a terrible start, which left the door open for Jan Casil. It did go 5 wide at one point through turn number 1. Here we go. So you're looking at 4 wide, and then Heinemann drops back. It is 5 wide officially on entrance to the corner. Ben Green then just about love taps Jan Casil. So congratulations to those two. They'll be expecting a BMW AMG hybrid in 9 months' time. But as it stands, Lucas Mount, how committed, well, there we go. We're seeing it once again. And Ben Green there just runs out wide. And Bastien Boost is going to say thank you very much. Birthdays and Christmases all rolled into one. Is he going to be able to get Ben Green? I don't think he's actually going to get Jan Casil. Casil's going to hold the inside line through turn number 2. And this race has a feel of the last week of school. Oh, no, that's not good. Bastien Boost off the circuit, bounces over the humps in the ground and saves it again. So some great saves we are seeing here. Holds on to the position from Fulgencio as well, just in behind. Peter Turting trying to make a move here on Jan Casil. Black-white flag for forcing another car off track then for Ben Tuck. That is not what he wanted. It's going from bad to worse then for Ben. And yeah, this has the kind of last day of school feel to it. Everyone's just, again, Ben here, very late on the brakes, far too late on the brakes. And you can see here, Casil wasn't in a position to really get his nose out of there. Ben does hold on to the position, but they would have lost, both have lost a load of time. But look at this then from Bastien Boost. Just completely squeezed off circuit. But what a recovery from him for such a young driver as well. Exceptional stuff. I'm wondering if Jan Casil's got away with one with Ben Tuck. Is he going to get away with that one? Not quite so sure. Did Fulgencio get him? I don't think Fulgencio got Bastien Boost. Boost is on the power nice and early. Yeah, he just about holds on to that position. So much action. But look at the lead then. 1 second the advantage. Verdonk and Mauron. Heinemann, he'll be one of those two to close up as soon as possible, so he can maybe get involved. But it's now 7/10 of a second. It's 2 wide between Bastien Boost and Fulgencio. It is. So Fulgencio just about hangs on. We've got 2 Porsches in the background then battling. It's like a bag of Skittles battling here. The bright green and the bright orange of the 2 Porsches. And, well, actually, it's a bit of a mistake there by Fulgencio is there. So we're seeing even more action here. Oh, well, that's where the bumper came off then. So the Porsches are all having fun together today. And, wow, yeah, he's actually forced Bastien Boost off the circuit. So I'm surprised that's not being investigated. The poor investigations team. They got to sleep tonight, guys. Bastien Boost. Well, there we go. Car 18 does get the black and white flag. Mauron, by the way, 9/10 of a second behind Verdonk. So Verdonk then has improved. We've got Max Kubolt now trying to come through the pack. He's 10th in behind Turting. And, yeah, we've got a Porsche there with the Joker's smile at this point. Anyone else need a rest? This is crazy stuff. Through towards the final sector we go. And Jan Casil is in behind Ben Green, but Ben Green is just jaunted off into the distance. But look how close it is now for the lead. It's going to be around about half a second, surely, as they cross the line. Verdonk, half a second ahead of the Audi. So it looks like we may get a new race winner this season. Only 3 drivers have won so far. That was Ben Tuck in Spa, Ben Green in Spa, Tim Heinemann everywhere else. And now it's a chance here for Verdonk and Mauron. Heinemann just doesn't seem to have the pace to hang with the front 2 here. But if these 2 start battling side by side, they're going to lose time. And that may give an opportunity here for Heinemann. And how strange, like, this circuit really does favour the cars that are really good through the corners, a more balanced car. Yet the 2 cars that have got the fastest straight line speed, from what we've seen, are first and second. Oh, Turting. That's bad. So what's happened here? Wondering if maybe that bumper's starting to rub on the front left. And he's been told may have an orange dot black flag, which means he has to come in to get the damage fixed. Or he's been told on the radio that there's something awry. So 8/10 of a second it is. So Mauron, again, we know he's got some raw talent. But consistency's always been the problem. So as you can see, he gets within half a second, then loses a couple of tenths the next lap. Not quite got close enough underneath that rear wing of that Toyota. Heinemann is going to become our champion, ladies and gentlemen. If he stays P3, it will be official. Our inaugural champion will be Tim Heinemann. And, well, Terting, where is he? He's pulling off to the side here. So he didn't want to go back to the pits. Didn't want to damage the car anymore. As we come across the line, it is back to half a second here. So Maron has done all that hard work once again. Is he going to be able to close in? The most unlikely battle, if before this weekend started, Nico Verdonk versus Lucas Maron, but I am absolutely in love with it. This is brilliant. So the Toyota through sector number 1 just seems absolutely lightning. It's carving through it like a warm knife and butter. Heinemann is closing back in, by the way, so these two need to be a little bit careful. So Maron has lost some time. He's flashing his lights again. Don't worry, Maron. Verdonk hasn't forgotten about you. He knows you're behind him. Got Heinemann in 3rd. Ben Green then in 4th. A great race from Ben Green, by the way. Again, there's a couple of issues where he's extended the braking zone, let's say. But he's got up into P4, started P9. Casil is in P5. Boos is in P6. That's where he started. And there is P13. And oh, the engine's smoking. So that's the problem then. There's an engine issue. So he lost power. Fulgencio 7th. Rudolph in 8th. Kubolt 9th. Vankmuller is in 10th. We've got then Dominique Shack in 11th. Fidel Lieb in 12th. Michael Tischner in 13th. And then we've got Terting and Tucker both out of this race. This is just insane. Rudolph Rin there running off circuit as well. Seems like that's the Porsche's preferred line at this point. Loses the position. Fulgencio given an absolute freebie. As they come through turn number 3. But it is now still 7/10 of a second here. So Verdonk's doing everything he needs to do. Heinemann's gained half a second on the front 2 as well. With 15 minutes to go. Still got half this race to go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's going to be quite as exciting as the first half. But it is going to happen all the same. We've got a battle between the 2 BMWs now then. So Kubolt and Vankmuller. So Vankmuller then started P12. Made himself up a couple of positions. Is he going to be able to overtake his fellow BMW driver here? Toyota just bouncing over the curbs. It's like a Toyota rocket bunny at this point. Just bouncing. Slipstream here, down in towards then that first chicane. Vankmuller not close enough at this point. Kubolt's just about going to hang on. Again, Kubolt taking so much curb on entry, which means his exit speed's going to be compromised. Just because he hasn't got all 4 wheels on the circuit. Again, such a hard corner to take. This left-hander is flat out. But you've got to set your car up to be able to get on the brakes for the chicane. So we saw a couple of moves last week in the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux where people were making moves around the outside and on the inside because people are just so timid on the brakes going into the corner. So it's somewhere where you can really put the frighteners on somebody. It's now 1.2 seconds from Verdonk to Maron. So Maron has had another poor lap. So not going to be able to convert this pole position by the looks of things. Verdonk could get Toyota's maiden victory in the DTM Trophy. Hands up if you thought this was going to be the result today when you woke up this morning. Because I certainly didn't think it would be. Just goes to show the strength and depth in this championship at this point. Ben Green not really able to close in on Heinemann. Jan Casil just holding on to that P5. But again, he knows Heinemann's in front of him. Championship will be over. So it looks like we will be crowning our first ever DTM Trophy champion. But then again, we've seen everything in this race. We've seen a couple of DNFs as well. It says Peter Terting still 20 seconds behind Tischner. I can assure you that is not the case. He is stationary here on the exit of this chicane. So Jan Casil chasing down Ben Green. Has he got the pace to close up? He'll want to get it done. He'll feel hard done by through turn 1 when Ben Green made the overtake. Mauron really is dropping off the pace, by the way. 1.5 seconds now. Tyres maybe starting to go off. Toyota seems pretty good on the tyres then. And Heinemann is closing in on not only Mauron, but he's closing in on Verdonk as well. So actually, right now, Heinemann is probably the quickest driver on circuit. He's gained half a second on Verdonk, and he's gained about, I don't know, maybe a second and a half on Mauron. Although Mauron's just closed back up, so... yeah, it seems like Sector 1 and Sector 2 is not the friend of the Audi, but Sector 3 is where he really does come into his own. Sector 3 so short. Still watching the battle here then between Kubolt and Vankmuller. Vankmuller seems to be able to get really close to Kubolt. Just not close enough to make a move. So different lines being taken there through turn 1. Kubolt not really leaning on the weight transfer of the car as much as what Vankmuller is. Again, that's only going to hurt the tyres of Vankmuller. And Mauron maybe starting to close in, but Heinemann, again, is closing in as well. You've got Yanka still is definitely getting closer to Ben Green. So that AMG in behind Ben Green will be getting bigger and bigger and bigger into that wing mirror. Wing mirror, rear view mirror. Again, through that left-hander. So hard, again, even on your own, it's so difficult to keep that car as far left as possible to open up the chicane. That's where mistakes can happen. That's where I would say the most time can be gained or lost. Look at this. Heinemann is closing in at a rate of knots. Does he go for an aggressive overtake? We saw earlier in this race in the first half that he is more than happy to mix it. Or does he just go, do you know what? I'm on a podium here. Championship means everything. And then he's got basically 3 free hits for the rest of the season, where he doesn't need to be worried about anything other than just getting results. Again, he's got to do the job of closing up here. Again, he's 2.9 seconds behind the leader. So it's gone from 4 seconds down to 2.9. And Mauron's closed back up then to the lead. It's now 2.7 seconds. So Mauron's closing in. And you can see they're actually struggled under braking. So his tyres are maybe starting to let go. Heinemann is quicker than both of them right now. With 10 minutes to go, I think we might see a bit of a frantic finish. And is Heinemann content to taking P3? Nope, absolutely not. And that is why he is going to be our champion. Mauron again flashing the lights. A little bit further back behind again. Again, Toyota going through Sector 1 beautifully well. Just seems like that Audi has got some really nice straight line speed. So after this chicane, this is where Mauron really needs to work hard. He needs to make sure he gets really good exits. He'll see that there's a championship-elect driver behind him that will be wanting to try and maybe take his position, so he needs to go forward as soon as possible here. Down towards those final few corners, into that final sector here. 9 minutes remain on the clock. And Mauron, we'll find out as he crosses the start-finish line, how close has he got? I think he's going to be within about 0.7 of a second again, isn't he? Heinemann maybe gained a couple of tenths here as well. So plenty of time for these drivers. 9 minutes is a lifetime in these cars. So Mauron across the line, how close is he now? He's 0.6 of a second, so he really is able to close up through that final sector. But it's here. It's turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, where Mauron just not able to hang with that Toyota. 2.8 seconds over Heinemann. He's taken 1/10 out of both of them. As they head on towards Sector 2. And again, you can see Mauron just really struggling to hang here with the Toyota through here. So now he's got to rely on that loud pedal. 2.7 seconds now to lead. Mauron didn't lose as much time as he had done on the previous laps here. So this is good for him. But now it's the 2 chicanes. He's got to take a chance here. He really does. If he wants to go out and win this race, he's got to take a chance. Heinemann there really bouncing over the curb. And this is as close as Mauron's been through the middle part of this circuit. So this is boding very, very well indeed for Lucas Mauron. And remember, Nico Verdonk could become a home winner as well. So this could be a home race win for Nico Verdonk. But I tell you what, Mauron is closer than he has been before. Look at this. Look how late he's on the brakes here. And I don't know whether there might be an issue here with the Toyota because really starting to struggle. And now you can see, look at this. Look at the acceleration of Lucas Maron. Maron closing into the back then of that number 90. Up towards the final chicane. And the Toyota just about hangs on, but Maron's going to get a punchy exit here, and I'd be very surprised if he's not side by side, at least as they come up towards turn number 1. And here we go then. Look at the difference in speed in the straight line. The Toyota's so good through sector 1. And well, how late can the Toyota get on the brakes when he can't? So Maron there makes the move for the lead. Almost a bit of contact between the two there. As you can see, Verdonk pushing Maron through almost. Heinemann's going to be loving this. Heinemann wants to see these two fight. Gives him a chance of potentially winning. Look at that. Oh, well, they were touching. A little bit of car there being scraped off the back by Maron. You wouldn't want to be any closer. If there was a match between those two cars, that would have been lit up for sure. But Lucas Maron, from pole position, dropped down the order, but now he's taken the lead of this race. He's had a lot of misfortune this season. Is this the time to shine? Tim Heinemann again, waiting to pounce like a panther in behind. He's now within 2 seconds here. Through the chicane they come. And it is Audi that takes the lead. So round the outside here, you can see Verdonk trying to squeeze him up towards that wall. And then straight across the bonnet there. Very good driving from both of them. And you can see here, almost being pushed through turn number 1 in the exit. Verdonk opens up turn 2. Look at this little graze here. Just a little kiss. Just a little kiss there. That is as close as you can get. Incredible stuff there. Knowing the length of your car. But it's still not over yet. Oh, look at this. Here's a three-way battle for the lead here. I've got my head in my hands. This is going to be a grandstand finish, ladies and gentlemen. And who knows? Could Heinemann go 7 in a row? This has been the most unlikely race that he could potentially do it. But he is close enough. And Maron makes a mistake here. And is Verdonk close enough? Again, he's not going to be able to get close enough in terms of speed. But with 5 minutes, 30 seconds to go, there is plenty of time for this to end up with a load of fireworks, that's for sure. You're going to see the Toyota close up here. That is for certain. Look how late he can go on the brakes. Constantina effect happening as well, of course. And it's about 1.5 seconds separating the front three. Ben Green still holding on to that 4th. Casil not really closing in. Booth 6th. Rin in 7th. Kubalt and Vankman are now 8th and 9th, by the way. Fulgencio dropped down to 10th. Fidel lead, by the way, in P11. Tishner. And sorry, no, Fulgencio's in P13, so he's dropped right down the order. It's Dominique Shack then, who's in top 10. So Dominique Shack looking to score points here today. That'd be a fantastic result for Toyota. If they could get a podium and a 10th position, they'd be super, super happy with that. But as it stands then, it is Audi of Lucas Maron in P1. Verdonk for Toyota in P2. And then in P3 is the driver that we are pretty much guaranteed here to name as our champion, as Lucas Maron runs a little bit wide then. Ran a little bit wide through 10. And again, he's just making little mistakes here. So that won't be affecting the car. What's hanging off the rear there, that's for sure. And I think, if anything, that Toyota's got to be really wary now of potentially losing that P2 spot. I think Lucas Maron has done all the hard work here. I tell you what, and that is exactly the word of the 2 words of the day, hard work. Maron has made hard work of this. To be P1 on the grid, get swamped, and then make his way back up through. And there you go. You can see that the championship points there. 223 points. Jan Casil on 122 points. It's looking good for Heinemann. So that is live championship points here. That would be enough for Tim Heinemann to indeed become our champion. Again, he could have finished a couple of positions behind Jan Casil, and he still would have taken the championship here in round number 9. But he's going to finish ahead. He's going to do it in style. He'd ideally want to win his 7th race in a row. It's not looking likely here with 3 minutes to go. Although with Tim Heinemann, absolutely anything is possible. And I need him to keep performing. I need him to keep winning races because he started commentary now. He's actually been commentating on the DTM Esports recently, and he might be looking to take my job. So I need him to keep winning here. So we're getting close-up camera shots here of the chicane. And Lucas Mauron, the leader of this race, keeps taking liberties with those track limits. So I'm wondering if potentially they might be looking there for a penalty or so. Lucas Mauron just in the lead, though. Again, if he gets a 5-second penalty, that could be a race-winning end. Well, it'd be a race ender. Wouldn't be winning the race. He'd probably end up being in around P3. Heinemann, though, doesn't need to make an overtake here, but he'll want to make something special for his championship-winning race. So many stories here. Cannot wait for race 2 tomorrow. Race 2 tomorrow is going to be absolutely nuts. So Fulgencio is also out of this race now, so 3 drivers are out. And, well, you can see that there's no longer a Mercedes badge on the front of that car. And that would have been because of the contact with that polystyrene. As much as a polystyrene advertising board is not very heavy, if you hit it at, you know, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, it's going to do a little bit of damage. And, of course, the car must have overheated with that on the front of the car, even for just being a lap. You can see the flashing of lights there by Verdonk. He's trying everything at this point. Just don't think he quite has the outright pace now. It would have been so nice to have seen a Belgian home winner. But it's looking like we're going to see a first-time winner regardless. And that'll be Lucas Mauron, although Mauron may be just losing a little bit of time here. And I'm not too sure how they've got the tyres set up within this championship, but it makes it so interesting. Of course, we wouldn't normally be racing at this time of year around here. But because of what's happening around the world, we're racing in much colder conditions than normal, which makes it really, really interesting. So they come across the line here, and we should have 2 more laps remaining. So 2 more laps remain of this race. And Mauron is not going to be worried about the drivers behind now. Just get your eyes forward, get that race victory, get that trophy. Tim Heinemann doesn't need to do anything, just needs to stay in P3. I know that he will not take P3. He will want to get up to P2. He'll want to win this race. But it's almost impossible from this position. They are all indeed pulling away from Ben Green and Casil. Casil now 1.2 seconds behind Ben Green. So that's closing up nicely. Again, I'll say the same to you, Verdonk. Mauron knows you're behind him. You don't need to remind him. You don't need to keep saying hello to him. So he will not stop flashing those lights. Might run out of battery power by the end of this race. But while Verdonk's thinking about flashing his lights at the driver in front, Heinemann's going to be thinking, well, you're obviously not thinking about just going around this circuit at this point, so there's an opportunity for me here. And they all 3 have closed up. Again, just goes to show how much quicker the 2 cars behind are through Sector 1 and Sector 2. But this is where the Audi comes into its strength. So we're about to embark upon that final lap. And will we see a potential late change of the lead? So Mauron is definitely closer to these 2 than he has been over the previous 3 laps. Around the final corner they come, and here we go, across the line. Final lap time here for race number 1 of the weekend. It's race number 9 of 12. And this man right here, if he finishes in 3rd position, he will be our champion. He will win that test with DTM. He will be a very, very happy German. All Lucas Mauron is thinking about, though, is a race victory here. He's not in the championship hunt. He doesn't care at all about the championship right now. He is just thinking about taking his first win of the season, becoming the 4th different winner of this championship. And wow, he has done it the hard way. Started pole position, where you think, oh, this is lovely. Start out the front, all good. Don't get involved in anything. But nope, dropped down to 3rd at one point. Didn't make it easy for himself, but what a sensational recovery it has been from Mauron. At one point, Verdonk was actually 3 seconds ahead of the whole field, while they're all battling for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and 5th position, maybe 6th, 7th, and 8th as well. Everyone was getting involved. It was like a party at the back. And actually, Mauron makes a little bit of a mistake there once again, but I don't think it's going to be too costly. We've got 2 corners remaining. The final chicane to go. Don't think Heinemann's close enough, though, to Verdonk. And Lucas Mauron, it's been a topsy-turvy championship so far for him this season. He's had bad luck, but he's been giving us the entertainment. Mr. Overtake will take victory here at Zolder for race number 1 of the weekend. It is a Toyota in second spot, and it is Tim Heinemann, the inaugural DTM Trophy champion, by finishing in 3rd position. Superb stuff there from our top 3. Ben Green will finish in 4th. Casil in 5th. Bastien Boost in his first ever outing for DTM as a guest driver will finish in P6. And well, we've got then Rudolph Rin, who's going to take 7th position. Across the line then for 8th spot will be Max Kubolt. So he gained 4 positions during the race. Great drive from him. Vankmuller is in 9th spot. And then to round out your top 10, it is Dominique Shack. So a 2nd Toyota in the points. What a weekend it's been so far for the Toyota brand. And then we've got Fidel Lee then, our top XP driver. And well, let's look at Lucas Mauron here. Lucas Mauron deserving all of the credit, ladies and gentlemen. You know, and it might be overshadowed a little bit because Heinemann's become the champion. So it's kind of the wrong weekend to win. He won't care what weekend it is, though, because Lucas Mauron is a DTM Trophy race winner. That is a fact. Cannot be taken away. Superb stuff then from him. And then we've got Nico Verdonk on home soil, the hometown hero in that Toyota with the best start I think I've ever seen. From P4 up to P1, round turn number 1. It was committed, it was beautiful, it was brilliant, took advantage. And well, he does indeed take P2. But this man here, the number 46 in the race room car for HP Racing International, it is Tim Heinemann that not only gets a podium here at Zolder, but he will be our official inaugural champion of the DTM Trophy 2020. Here is your official race results then. Lucas Mauron takes the win. Verdonk in 2nd. Heinemann in 3rd. Ben Green, what a recovery that was from him, by the way. P4. Jan Casil 5. We then got Bastien Boost in 6th. Rudolph in 7th. Kubolt and Vankmuller and Dominique Shack in your top 10. Dominique Shack, what a drive that is as well, by the way. He started P15 on the grid. So great performance by him. And then we've got Fidel Lieb Tischner, who indeed finished in 11th and 12th. And then out of this race was Fulgencio, Peter Terting, and Ben Tuck. And there it is. There is a shot of the cup. All this hard work. From Lucas Mauron to pick up that beautiful trophy. Really love seeing all the different designs actually this year. They've all been so different. The champagne's going to be sprayed around. And this is probably going to be my favorite podium. But here's one more look then. Again, save this to your camera roll, Lucas Mauron, because this will be posted to social media for years to come, because you've just become a DTM Trophy winner. And again, if you'd said to me at the start of this weekend, it would be Audi, Toyota, then AMG as your front 3 this weekend, not sure I would have believed you. Certainly believe you now. So here is your Drivers' Championship and confirmation that Tim Heinemann will be the DTM Trophy champion. Jan Casil is in 2nd spot. Ben Green in 3rd. Ben Tuck is in 4th. Peter Terting 5th. Mark De Fulgencio is in 6th. We've then got Kubolt in 7th. Herziger is in 8th. And well, you saw there that Lucas Mauron isn't in that top 8 because he's had such an unfortunate season. It's been a strange one for him. But today he takes the maximum spoils. And look at this, Tim Heinemann. You can see what it means to him. There's a lot of emotion in the air for sure. And he fully deserves it. Fully deserves it. Nice embrace then between our champion and our race winner today. But let's not forget Nico Verdonk. Could have been a race win for the hometown Belgian, but it bodes so well for tomorrow. Could we see a Belgian winner in Belgium? Guess we'll find out. Anyway, I'm going to leave you now with the podium celebrations and the national anthems. What a race.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Show your trophies. Well done. Congratulations. In DTM Trophy 2020 here at Zolder. Now, gentlemen, don't blink, just pray. Time for the celebrations. Tomorrow for race number 2 here at Circuit Zolder.
An den Stern!
There is the championship winning car, Tim Heinemann. He is going to be high on emotions right now because he is officially the champion of the DTM Trophy 2020. And wow, what a journey it's been so far. He's been so dominant this season. Again, he probably would have wanted to cross the line in first position today, but it's not been the case. Seems like everybody's up their game. But what an incredible season it's been for him so far. Still 3 races remain of this season, remember. So, you know, he's going to want to try and get more wins, more trophies to that cabinet. And what a fantastic day's racing we've had here at Zolder. And do you know what the best news about today is? We get to do it all again tomorrow. Exciting times. But there are your top 3. Lucas Maron in the middle there. To your left, it is Nico Verdonk. To the right, it is Tim Heinemann. In behind is that grey AMG of Fidel Lieb, who will be our lead XP driver.